What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you can hear me over the cicadas. I'll turn the chat on. Um, yeah, I've been absent for a little while. If you followed me long enough, you know that I do that from time to time. I have to do that from time to time for a number of reasons. It's I think with anything, if you're doing it constantly, it's good to unplug and distance yourself because you can get tunnel vision. You can really be your own worst enemy when it comes, especially research, right? It's very important that we get everything right. What's up, Jay Creed? Good to see you. Glad you could join. How's the audio? Is everything all right? This probably won't be long. I wanted to pop in and let you guys know I'm still here. I'm still alive. A very strange thing happened, and I'll cover that when we get to it. Maybe, probably, if I got time. It was just yeah. Anyway, um, I'm not expecting a lot of people to join. Hey, Commodore, good to see you. I appreciate you being here. Oh, and I've been meaning to tell you, waiting for you to join a stream. I know I haven't been in one in a while, but thank you so much. God bless you. You have no idea how helpful that was. So truly, 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 truly appreciate everybody's kindness. Like, you guys are amazing, and I really do appreciate it. And I got a lot to talk about on so many different things, and it's just been building up. And even though I'm not, as far as I'm concerned, my break isn't over yet. I still probably am gonna take another couple of days, but I did want to pop in because there's a couple things I want to get off my chest, and also I don't know what all I want to say and what all I want to save, but I do want to go through some stuff. I've been really, really, really diving deep into this Maui stuff, and the reason that I've been paying so much attention to it is because if you think, what's up, Kutz? Good to see you, brother. Of what the actual implications are, what the ramifications are of a government that is willing to use weapons that cannot be traced, essentially, right? And I know I usually try to be careful when reporting stuff like this, right? I try not to be a conspiracy theorist. I try to just go with the facts. If you followed me long, you know that, right? Like, I'm very fact-based. I do cover conspiracy theories from the angle of the mainstream media because it's important to know what they want to demonize so bad. But when it comes to like getting to the bottom of stuff, when it comes to the facts, it's important. Obviously, it's important to get them right. And, we try our best. But with Maui, to me, it just seems so obvious right from the beginning when I seen the way that everything burned. So I put out some statements in my Maui video that I stated them like they were fact, but I didn't know for sure. Even though, all my senses told me, all the research suggested, I didn't know for sure. And I got to be careful for doing that. However, it turned out to be, from everything I gather, probably on the right track. And like I was saying about the implications of that, it's so important to like take a step back and think about what that means. At any given time, any city, anywhere, or down to the guys, I was on Google Earth. I was using some Chinese satellite imaging. I got tons of photographs, helicopter views, drone footage. The burn patterns on this fire are so insane. You could have an entire residential block burnt to a crisp, but in this, like, some random house sitting there will be completely untouched. There'll be trees in the middle of these houses because that's how they burnt, right? One house caught on fire, then the next, then the next. That's how fire. Well, if that's the case, then how come, like, nothing burned except the houses? And I can't even give it justice. You guys will have. I've been putting together, trying to make something of a documentary. I don't know how long that'll take or how good it'll be, but it's just overwhelming the amount of evidence that is coming out in regards to that, because that's something that changes the ball game. And not that just, we knew that this technology existed. We knew, and not just this one, many other things, right? Like dealing on the nanotechnology side of things, like the biological, especially when it comes to electromagnetic frequencies. I mean, you name it. They've, especially dealing with the technological side of things, they've mastered things that we can't even really fathom, let alone find any information about. But what we can find out, like, we know there's videos all over the place. You can look up YouTube videos from the DOD and Lockheed Martin and what's the other one? I always forget the name of it. Begins with a G, I think. It doesn't matter. They openly talk about these things, but yet there's people, especially on Twitter or X, that'll sit there and act like this isn't completely impossible. Not even so much about the Maui fires, just about the technology and that goes to show that for the most part, the general public isn't aware of what is going to be used against them. And that's pretty problematic, because the same, like, let's take Maui for instance, right? Climate change, something that benefits them, that literally they've murdered thousands of children. They were sent. I mean, it's so insidious. Honestly, it's part of why I'm taking this break, guys, because the level of evil, and of course it's going to be, but I guess even though I knew that that's like, there is no limits, there's no line that they won't cross, it still, like, struck me really hard when, like, I kept going more. I was calling people. I've recorded I don't know how many conversations talking to people in Hawaii, in Lahaina, depending on. I called the governor's office. You can only imagine the message I left. The mayor's office. The poor secretary. I tried holding my composure, and the secretary obviously had nothing to, I don't know, but I highly doubt, but I'm 100% convinced that the mayor said literally the same day as the fires were breaking out that they're doing everything they can. The state is doing everything they can to acquire that land. And again, guys, if this was just wildfires, if this was like a legit wildfire, I'd probably still think, just the way, because leading up to the moment the fire they had a lot of strange things, like the Smart City 2023 initiative. Hitachi, by the way, the brand Hitachi, they're the one. Tell the rest of the story about how these things. I got to read that comment again when it comes back up. But anyway, Hitachi is a brand, and they make, like, a lot of power tools and stuff, but they also make lasers. and they made powerful lasers. And I got some patents that were really, really hard to find. Actually, I didn't even find them. I can't take credit. Thanks again, DedSec. Props. But they're pretty telling. And it's funny because Hitachi is behind the smart cities in Maui. I mean, that's probably a coincidence like everything else is, right? But I just thought that was strange. It's something we're talking about. Now I want to switch gears off of Maui. It's not what I want to waste my time, not waste, but not what I want to spend my time talking about. There'll be plenty of time for that. There's a lot to talk about, right? Before I even get into this kind of stuff right here, guys, mass shootings will keep spiraling upward without big change. Of course they will, because they're going to keep doing whatever it is that they need. Sorry, there's mosquitoes everywhere. Whatever it is that they need to keep doing to get the weapons out of the people, so the people don't have a chance of defending themselves against the tyrannical takeover, which is happening literally right now. We are in the very beginning stages. Like we're beyond the warning stages when I was trying to like scream from the rooftops, this is what's coming. We're here now. So now we just got to play it by ear and do our best to figure out what is the logical next step as far as they're concerned, so we can be as best prepared as we can and possibly thwart anything that we possibly could, right? Man, it just gets so ridiculous, and I feel like I've said these things so many times, and the only thing that changes is my level of anxiety. Nothing ever really happens, right? As they continue to strip our freedoms and our laws and everything that they can, they just more legislation, and PSYOP after PSYOP, they continue to pound us with constant fear porn and telling us that we need this because the climate is going to kill us all in 5 years, and we need this because mass murder and mass shootings and everything else. And what's up, Melissa? Good to see you. I'm not really back. I'm kind of back for this couple of minutes that I'm here. It's not going to be a long video, and it's probably going to be like 3-4 days before I really get back into the swing of things. I needed a break. But Scientific American, right? That's how you know they're not playing around, is when you see things in the Scientific American sociology, which is propaganda now. These things used to be credible at one time. Many of these types of media outlets, entertainment outlets, scientific outlets. But they've all been corrupted. They've all been bought. They've all been paid for. And now we get to go through all the BS propaganda that the masses are eating up. But this all plays into something much bigger, guys. Like I can run through this stuff. This isn't my intention. I don't want to make it like a normal type of live stream. It's not what I'm doing here. I mean, I have stuff up. Okay. Trump's mugshot. Now, I see all of the so-called alternative media all saying this backfired on them. This backfired. Oh, they weren't expecting this. Bullshit. I've never in my life seen such a push to get somebody selected as I have with Donald Trump. The left and the right are both doing everything in their power to make sure he is the man. And you know why? Obviously I don't know this, but I think, as I predicted at the very beginning, actually before this year started on December 31st, when I made my predictions for the rest of the year, I said this would be the start of the Civil War. But when you start the Civil War, you never know you're in it until a couple of years have passed and you look back and be like, yeah, that was the thing that sparked it. I think this one's going to be rather obvious. I think there's one of two major possibilities that'll happen dealing with that. And I think they're going to do what they always do and make it completely obvious that they steal the election and get tons of the people completely pissed off, right? I even see Q drops coming back. Well, not Q drops coming back, but they're rehashing old Q drops. The QAnon's getting back in the cycle. Something big's coming. Now, it could either be that Trump will be like completely obviously, unfairly deemed a loser in the election. You out, Cuts? Good day, good to see you, brother. Or Joe Biden will have an ASS I-Nation attempt. And I think it'll all be bullshit. And I think it'll be staged. But I think that's exactly what they need. One of those two things will happen. Because they need to start the Civil War, because a country divided cannot stand. Right? They're obviously divide and conquer. And I've never seen people so polarized and on opposite ends of the spectrum. And it doesn't even need to be this way. It's because they're feeding into the shit that they're not supposed to. The people that were waking up, right, that from COVID and everything and seeing what was going on, they got dragged back into it by people like Benny Johnson and Alex Jones and, I mean, you name it, right? Dan Bonaducci or Bonicello, whatever the hell his name is. And it's Tucker Carlson, right? People that are enjoyable to listen to, like they say things and they sound great, just like Vivek Ramaswamy from the World Economic Forum. He sued him. What up, New Words? Good to see you, brother. They say all the right things. Of course they're going to. But they're there to make sure that anybody that's starting to step out of line, they're there with the net to catch them and bring them right back in. Control the opposition, right? But it's not even the opposition. I'm going to get wrapping it up, guys. Is there anything, like I said, I got a couple more days before I actually spend some time doing a live stream. I wanted to pop in, talk for a couple of seconds, let you guys know I'm still here. And I got some really, really powerful stuff coming up. It's too bad this channel wasn't bigger, man, because like it's just gonna get swept under the rug. Nobody's gonna have, I don't know. I've been working on different avenues, trying to think. I've been praying a lot. You guys wouldn't mind saying a prayer too, trying to, this is us. Like, this is our future. This is our children's future. It's like, it's a video on a social media platform, but it really is happening. Like all the stuff that we talked about, and it seems so far away at times, like, yeah, you know, whatever, but it's interesting to listen to. Like, it's all happening right now. The CBDCs, the digital identity, the BRICS nations, the World War III, the Civil War, it's all happening right now. Like, we are marching right into it. And when you see powerful players in this hellscape of a planet using things such as directed energy to wipe thousands of people out, to steal their land, to bring in a smart city, it shows you the type of evil that we're going to be dealing with. Not that we didn't know, but it's when you see it, when you think about it, right? These are real people. These are real children. Think of your children. Always do this when these types of things. Like, it's important, even though it's hard. That's why I have to take breaks sometimes. You have to look at it like that. Like, they're no different than us. They're no different than you. They're no different than me. They're people, and they have loved ones, and it's just wiped out, all gone. And for what? To bring in some agenda, right? And we said from the beginning, we know what the agenda is. The only carbon they're reducing is us. We are the virus. It's just whether we let it happen or not. They'll amplify all the gatekeepers, the controlled opposition. They'll get all those channels, get millions of hits, views, shares. But channels like mine that are just strictly based on the truth, and if I say so myself, are better than many of the shitty ones that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I see channels that blow my mind, but it's just like, because I don't have a high production value, right? I would like to. I would like to quit my job and do this full time. At one point, I probably could have, and I should have jumped on that. I'm glad I didn't, actually, because then after the censorship, I would have been screwed and lost many years of my life learning skills and trades and things. But there's got to be a way. We have to figure something out. I'm all ears, and I'm racking my brain, and I have ideas. I just not sure how exactly to execute them, because I'm all about peace, no violence. The only violence I would ever use is literally to defend my family or myself from violence. I'll never be the initiator. I will never do something. And I would suggest everybody live that way, right? Like, I'm sure everybody that follows me has the same viewpoint. Like, why would you? Because that's the other side, right? That's the people that are doing this type of shit. They're the scumbags that don't mind nuking entire families. For what? Following orders is a big part of it, but then when it gets to the top, you're just talking about pure evil. Yeah, actually, that's something I've been giving a lot of thought to, Karma Doc. I almost started thinking like different ways. Like, here's an idea. I'm not saying this is the idea. This isn't even a good idea, but this is just an idea to get, So, there's not many of us over here on this platform. Our family over here. But the ones that are here, I feel that we're all connected. And there's more of us out there. They just haven't found their way here yet. And I promise you of that. But how would it look if we found some type of alternative media that was legit, like the Gray Zone? The Gray Zone's pretty legit to me. I haven't seen anything really out of the Gray Zone I wouldn't want the Gray Zone because their politics. I just swallowed a mosquito. Of their that was interesting. Politics. But as an example, if we got an email or a contact thing and I posted it out and I was like, hey, we need to, and I don't mind being the face of it, right? It's not that that's what I want. It's not I want fame, I want fortune. That is not it at all. I just happen to have a couple skills that would allow me to be somewhat successful in portraying a lot of this information in a way that people could understand it. Now, I don't know exactly, but if we all, and this is a stupid idea, I'm just saying, it's an idea. we could, nah, that's a dumb idea, but we gotta find ideas. We gotta come up with something. I'm very solution oriented. I always have been. And I don't like it. I don't think for one second that this thing's just going to be solved. Like, oh, that's a great idea. That's going to end everything. But we need to start coming up with little solutions to little problems, because chaos theory, essentially, little things can snowball and turn into big things. And if there was a way to get some of these messages out there, like I was going through, man, somebody sent me a link, and this happens from time to time. People will send me a link from an old video I made years ago, and it was dealing with Maui, and I was talking about, and this was like 7 or 8 years ago, and it was dealing with direct energy weapons. And again, I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back. It's just, I spent a lot of time looking at this stuff and researching it and seeing who's behind it and what their agendas are and who they're rubbing elbows with, right? And you can kind of, after doing it long enough, you get an idea of what may happen. Not always, of course, but you can hone those skills over time and get better at them. And I feel that I've gotten pretty good at being able, I'm sure a lot of people have as well, at being able to see what's happening and calling things out for what they really are. So this email was sent to me, and it was talking about, and it's upsetting at times because I understand and I feel the same way, but it was almost like a scolding that I couldn't do more. It was like, yeah, you were talking about this, and then they shared the link, and I didn't know, because I only seen, it was like a BitChute, or no, it was Odyssey, and I was like, all right. And it wasn't even like something I posted. It was, I think, Moonbeam or something like that posted it, and I went and watched it, and I was like, oh, I forgot I even made that video. But the email that went with it was like, I should, basically saying I should have done more, but what more could I have done? Like, yeah, you can see these things. I didn't like say it was going to hit Maui or anything like that. It was pretty on point when it came to that they'll be using these things to get people in. So Agenda 21, right? Agenda 21 in the United States has that map, and it has like people crammed into these mega cities, and everything else is the no-go zones. Like, how are they going to get people out of them? If you wipe them out, fires and floods and things that they now can manipulate and control. And that whole video was about directed energy weapons, and things. I was thinking about adding that into the Maui documentary I'm making, but I don't really want to make it about anything about me. I want it to be about Maui and what happened there. It's just because, again, the ramifications. What's up, Miss? Well, that's why I am, brother. The rest of us are just NPCs. You're the one with the controller. I think we all were. I'm just messing. I'm going to get wrapping it up, though, guys. And Commodore, thanks again. Jen, if you watch this, thank you. Melissa, if you watch this, thank you. I appreciate the support, guys. If you, never mind. I just appreciate it more than you know. Check again what? I'm sorry, I missed it. What am I checking again? I have blonde moments, Karma Doc. A high IQ, and I'm as blonde as it gets. If that offends any people. Check again. No. Let's do it then. You want me to? I'll do it right here. I don't want to. No. No. That's just, man, that's amazing. I can't accept that. How do I give it back? God bless you. I really appreciate it. I don't know what to say. Like, that's God bless you. Thank you. Um, yes. Sorry, man. It's been a rough week. It hasn't, like, it's just been, man, I can't, like, with everything going on right now. And guys, I'm sorry for my absence. Like, I need the absence. That's why I do this from time to time. And I know, like, the algorithm, what matters with the algorithm anymore anyway? I'm as shadow banned as it possibly gets. So sometimes I just, like, it's a lot to take on. And my living situation, guys, I feel like I'm being tested. And I think I need to be tested. Because I think what's coming is going to be so incredibly difficult for all of us to go through that we need to be strong. They're not showing you the sorrow. They're not showing you the sadness. They're not showing, like, could you imagine? Yeah, I seen that. The 2000, I watched it. I don't, like I said, I try to email you guys back when, like, on certain things. I definitely watched Call for Uprising stuff. I watched it when he dropped it. I've been seeing a lot of signs on that, Mitch. It's funny that you said that. Oh, after the response. Okay, I was thinking that you might not have got it. I just got done praying. I do this in my head sometimes, not like out loud in the proper way, I suppose, but I was praying, and basically I was like I said, it's been a tough couple of weeks, and not like emotionally, like we're seeing. I guess what started was that video I made with Maui and doing a lot of research, and then other stuff that I came across, and like Ukraine, like these poor bastards are getting dragged out of their homes to get thrown on the front lines, and you know why? Because BlackRock is going to turn all of Ukraine into a smart country. It's the same shit as Maui. And they don't want anybody that's of age, that's a military, that's a man, that's going to provide any resistance at all, to be able to do so. So let's wipe them all out. Like, these things are much, much, much bigger than what the media or alternative media is even giving a glimpse upon. And thank you again, Karma Doc. So I've been trying to reformulate my strategy. I have another channel. It's called Scratching the Surface. It's got this cute little praying mantis guy. Like, you're probably not going to find it if you search it. but I have ideas because the internet is obviously one of, if not the way to reach tons and tons of people. And we can turn not the whole thing around. Shit's gonna play out one way or the other. It has been written so. But we can, and I say this a lot, but we can mitigate the amount of suffering that we have to go through. And for our loved ones and ourselves. And the only reason I do believe that somehow I have some small part to play in this is because of weird, crazy stuff that has happened in my life over and over and over. I don't, like, I'm not, do I come off as crazy or insane? I mean, the media would call me so for sure, right? But no, I hope not anyway. But I do think that we can all, like, really, really change stuff. It's not even I think. I know so. I know it. And anytime I've ever said that, this is a fact, by the way. This is 100% fact. Anytime throughout my entire history on YouTube, I've ever stated something as I know it to be true, like I'm certain of it, it has always ended up coming true. Now you could chalk it up to say it be so, right? Like, well, you brought it in, it was the energy that you put out there, and that's why it came back that way. Fine. Or the way, as far as I'm concerned, I know what I was told. I know what I was shown. I know the reason I named my daughter what her name was, because I knew it in advance when I was 5 years or 4 years old. And something like, when I say, like, you guys are here for a reason, it sounds cliche. It sounds like, I don't even, sometimes I'm like, ugh. But I have to, because I need to let you know that. And I understand that that's, for a lot of people, or most of you, may not, like, really sink in the way that it should. Regardless of the life you're living, or the things that you're doing, or maybe mistake, whatever it is, it's your soul, and what your soul has done, and who your soul has been. And I know them very well. I hope you all have a great night, great day tomorrow, great week, month, year, decade, century. Much love. Peace.